So, in my experience, mentoring can enhance the workforce's human development in many ways. But some of the biggest benefits of mentoring include, first of all, for the mentee, improved performance and productivity in their current roles, certainly enhanced career opportunities and advancement, and improved knowledge and skills and wisdom from working with their mentor. They'll also get greater confidence and self-awareness and well-being through a mentoring relationship. Mentoring also develops the mentor though, so there's considerable two-way learning in developmental mentoring, and the benefits of mentoring for the mentor include gaining a greater knowledge of the area of the business the mentee works in, improved self-awareness, and enhancing their communication skills, particularly listening and questioning, plus the development of themselves as a leader. In fact, some organisations I work with will introduce mentoring to work on the mentor's leadership skills. And also organisations, they get so much out of mentoring. It creates greater staff retention, improved communication, better morale, motivation and working relationships, and certainly improved learning on the job, plus the development of the organisation's talent and leaders. Mentoring can also have an economic impact, and one of the best examples of this that I tend to use to demonstrate the tangible economic benefits is a talent mentoring program that I designed, where out of 20 mentoring pairs, I found out when we did the evaluation for the program that 5 of the mentees said that if it hadn't been for the mentoring support they received, they would have left the organisation. So these were senior leaders for whom the cost of replacing them alone more than justified the programme's existence. Plus the cost, of course, of getting their successors up to speed, etc. So to me, this is a real example of saving money. However, also the results from improving your talent and leadership development creates an enormous justification for organising well-designed mentoring in an organisation. Individuals tend to forget 95% of the content of a training programme within 3 months of attending it, whereas mentoring research shows that the learning from a mentoring conversation is retained, used and embedded far more effectively. So I think to me that more than justifies the use of mentoring. So for me, the main pain points tend to be around, firstly, actually getting the buy-in from senior leaders to having an internal mentoring programme. Once the programme's purpose and success factors are established, the next step's really to influence and gain key stakeholder buy-in to it. And senior management support's really vital. By exhibiting their commitment and enthusiasm to the programme, it's going to influence other organisational members to accept and support the programme in the future. And if you haven't got this top-level commitment, then potential mentors may just see the role of a mentor as being quite onerous, as it's going to require more time and energy for them on top of their already very busy day jobs. In addition, who's going to have ownership of the programme within the organisation? You know, is this going to be human resources or is it going to be the line managers? And this is a common, very sticky issue, as human resources tend to drive the programme as part of their learning and development strategy, but they don't always have the requisite commitment from the line and then the credibility and commitment to the programme. So this really creates programmes that fall at the first hurdle. The next pain point to me is around the recruitment of the mentors and mentees. You really need to identify mentee or client target groups and potential mentor populations and invite them to participate on a voluntary basis. Volunteerism is really a key factor in making your mentoring more successful. So programs vary in terms of the formality of the recruitment process. But I think making participation compulsory or politically correct for individuals or key talent can really turn your mentoring program into a competition where people are looking at trying to gain the most senior mentor or sponsor in the organisation. And how the program's also being communicated to the rest of the organisation is really significant too. Communicating a clear program outline to anyone you're interested in recruiting, including the benefits of their involvement, but also communicate with the line managers and other stakeholders involved, so there is complete transparency, can be really tough. So you have to ensure that individuals understand what's expected of them within a formal program. Are there events they need to commit to? Do they realise how much time their participation is going to take? And without having this transparency right at the beginning, then potential participants can make really bad assumptions about who the mentoring's for and the agendas of the stakeholders. And this can lead to accusations of favouritism or an assumption that mentoring's remedial, which really is not a good impression to start a mentoring program off with. So I think those aspects around communication and good recruitment are really, really important. And those can be some of the most painful aspects to deal with. And then finally, just make sure that you've got some good evaluation in place. The evaluation of a mentoring program should really be planned as part of the initial program design whilst it's being set up, and the program outputs and success factors agreed. You should continually assess mentoring programs so that you've got some formative evaluation so you can review the design and future implementation of the program, but also you need that final or summative evaluation at the end. And without this, and if evaluation isn't conducted properly, then you've really got no justification for continuing with a program, and this is where a lot of programs fail. So I think my three main tips are, first of all, how supportive or not is your culture? Is it really going to embrace mentoring and the obstacles or challenges which mentoring might face? So this feedback's such a useful guide to support the design steps of any mentoring program, and particularly around influencing stakeholders and the communication and publicity before a program commences. Secondly, another critical decision really needs to be made around the type of mentoring you're going to use. So sponsorship mentoring focuses on career sponsorship by the mentor and is often a relationship where the power dimension between the mentor and mentee is fairly strong. Or are you going to use developmental mentoring? So this places greater emphasis on learning and development and the growth of the mentee, where the mentee really takes responsibility for their own learning. Developmental mentoring should be a mentee-driven two-way learning relationship. However, these days I find many talent management mentoring programs decide to take some elements of sponsorship into their design also. So you have almost a hybrid type model. And it is wise to be absolutely clear on the outcomes of mentoring that you require before defining the roles and behaviours of the mentor for the programme and agreeing where mentoring should sit on this developmental mentoring sponsorship spectrum. Finally, do make sure you've got the resources to run a programme. Well-run mentoring does need good support and supervision, and don't ever just set up a programme and leave it to itself. What you'll find, it will just wither and die without proper support. So, as a mentor myself, I think what I've learned over the years is how common most of the issues are that people face in their work and their personal lives, whatever industrial profession they may work in. So simply listening, giving unconditional positive regard, and paying attention to your mentee creates that powerful reflective space to support them to make sense of what's going on for them and to help them to reach their own conclusions about the way forward.